If we could talk to the animals, speak to the animals, swing like the animals, I'm not really sure what would happen. But this is Beastmaster on Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness. So we all just watched Stinker, or not Stinker Madness, we're on Stinker Madness. What the hell show is this anyways? We just watched Beastmaster. We've got two special guests today. With us is Jeff and Tucker from the If We Made It podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Good to have you guys.
Good to be here.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having us.
How did Beastmaster go down for you?
I loved it.
Yeah?
Wonderful.
Yeah,
It was an experience.
that it was.
Changed my life.
Well, Sam, since we're chopped liver, me and Sam are also here.
Oh,
Jackie
yeah.
and Sam are here too.
With me as always is Sam and Jackie. They're here. How are you guys?
Well,
Alright. Good.
I am stoked. I love the Beastmaster.
This was your pick.
Oh, I know. And it was everything I thought it would be right from when I was a kid. I was not disappointed at all.
That carried the same majesty as when you were a child.
Oh, yeah.
It is
And now that
magical.
we had, the 0.5 episode where I learned that they dropped that bird out of a basket and
They had a hot air balloon with a trapdoor.
Really?
Yeah, they couldn't get it to fly, so they would put it in a hot air balloon and then just drop it out of the hot air balloon. And even then, there was barely any shots of the damn thing flying. In the movie.
Not really. It was a kind of a lazy asshole. It just sat on stuff. The whole time.
he looked kind of fat.
It was probably filled up with ferrets.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like, how many of the trick ferrets died during the filming of
Yeah,
this thing?
they threw ferrets around quite a bit.
That was, out of all of the atrocities I read about, they did nothing to do with the ferrets, and they were throwing them around everywhere.
There had to have been more than 2 ferrets in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a lot of them.
Well, labor laws, It's like the Olsen twins.
Yeah.
Where was this shot? Is it in America?
Oh, that's a hell of a question.
What was
In Mexico somewhere or something.
It had to be like Moab in that one spot.
Yeah.
You know what I wonder, speaking of your childhood, is, were there Beastmaster toys? Was there ever a line of crap that you could buy?
No, I don't think so. But I was into He-Man and She-Ra. So I had the plastic He-Man and She-Ra sword. So when I saw the Beastmaster, it was so easy to play Beastmaster with the dog.
Right.
Yeah.
And the dog never listened to me, so I just hit it with the sword. Which apparently is the way that you do these kind of things, because that's what they did in this movie. They just abused all these animals.
You could make your whole line of toys with He-Man. Just, paint Cringer
Just
black.
like they did.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
a really good call.
Paint a tiger.
And
Yeah.
Was there... Oh, you could just have the sorcerer... what's her name? The main sorceress lady? Sorsha? No, that's...
oh, the sorceress?
Yeah, is that just her name?
Yeah.
You could have Herbie the bird. And,
Yeah.
Tila playing the role of Tanya Roberts.
But, rewatching...
Just take all of Tila's clothes off and just, Beastmaster! Oh, you're so hot!
I think we should put out an all-purpose ripped torn action figure.
Yeah.
So you could just
With
dress him
prosthetics.
up in different with a little fake nose for his Beastmaster role.
Yeah. And his eyebrows. What was going on with that? He
They were,
took off his hood and was like, boom! I mean, just these two, lightning bolts
Yeah.
that came down to a severe point.
That was a very dramatic reveal of his hood, too.
It was.
Yeah.
And then right after that, I wrote down that he wasn't happy because he had this weird look on his face, and then he had to get into a spot where there was a guy standing in his way. And so the blocking in the very first shot of the movie is all fucked up. And you can just read it on his face this is not working.
Now, is he British?
Rick Torn? I don't think so.
Because I was going to say, I mean, they didn't have to do anything to his teeth if he's British, because we all know that British people have, just awful teeth.
I think he was
His
supposed
teeth
to have something painted on them. I think it was implied that
It
it was
looked like
evil.
he broke a pen in his mouth and was like, shit,
Yeah.
the day of filming, and they're like, well, we got to keep it now.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be letters of some sort, or runes, or
I don't know.
some magic
But, I
bullshit.
will say
They just
that
look dirty.
I kind of felt like I had a ripped-off childhood when I was rewatching this movie, because if my mom would have been into sleeping pills. Now, I could have drugged the damn dog and carried it around like it was dead. That scene where they obviously had drugged this dog beyond submission is like...
That was a hilarious scene.
And
The whole
went and
beginning of the
landed
movie
on your mom.
is just...
Yeah. You're like, I gave it your sleeping pills.
And rub its face on her face.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole beginning of the movie, it just comes out so hot. It is... I want to say it's about a 9 on the awesome level. The whole sexy witches beginning.
Yeah.
With the pig faces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They,
I like the slow pan up.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, sexiness.
Yeah.
And then you're, oh!
Jesus H.
I get over that pretty fast.
Who hasn't had that happen to him at the bar?
They turn around, can I buy you? Oh my god!
They're fighting from behind. I don't know what
Yeah.
the problem is. But then one of them transfers the Beastmaster from his mother's pregnant belly into
The baby
a
cow. The baby
into
cow
a cow.
transfusion.
Yeah, and then cuts it out of the cow.
Yeah, like,
After she kills the mom, like,
Yeah.
just take out the baby.
yeah, like what?
Save yourself some trouble.
And then the dad, he didn't die. He just lays there and goes, I've got blue goo on my neck.
Yeah, the blue goo is to keep them.
Yeah.
Immobilized,
Paralyzed.
you
It's like
know,
paralyzed something.
I always thought that was cool too. Like I used to pour Kool-Aid on other kids. I had a fucked up childhood, and that's what I'm
It was
starting
all
to
based
think.
on Beastmaster.
Beastmaster and He-Man and She-Ra. I got in trouble a lot for hitting other kids with swords. I'm not gonna lie. My uncle had made me this long wooden one, right? Like, I mean, this thing was like as tall as a kid. It had like a hilt and everything, right?
Wow.
And it had a peacock eye on it, and then the sword. It was like a real sword, and I would chase neighborhood kids around this thing until my dad finally just took it away and hid it underneath a wood pile that I found it like 6 months later, but it was rotten.
Did you pull it out all majestically?
I did, and it was broken. And I was like, because it had rotted out. And so when I pulled on it, it broke in half, and I was so pissed.
So everything bringing you up to this point in life is because of Beastmaster. Without Beastmaster, I probably would have never met you.
Yeah, because, you know, then after the big sword, they made me like a hand stabber sword that I could hide from people, a dagger, and it was pretty sweet. And, you know, I was a weird little kid.
Was.
And, yeah, it's kind of like in Teen Witch when I was like, yeah, I took a lot of quarters to school after watching that. I was so sure I was going to find Love by the Pop Machine.
So after the baby cow transfusion, she kind of like willows him. Like the baby is gone, and he ends up with the farmer because the farmer comes and he's also King Badass. He's got a giant ass sword with him and
a collapsible boomerang.
The collapsible
that doesn't
boomerang
look like a boomerang.
Kills the shit out of the witch, who seems to be having a good time dying because she's like.
It's like the last thing you hear. It's like...
As she Obi-Wan's herself.
Which happens several times.
Yeah, all the witches turn into Jedis at the end, apparently, when they die. But so, Beastmaster gets to be raised in the least safe environment that's ever existed. Like, he's...
City on stilts.
I thought it was the most dangerous housing development in all of the wasteland. They have exploding houses on 30-foot stilts.
Right. That are shaking.
Which they end up all impaled on after that.
Let's hide in our houses. Then they'll explode and we can land on their stilts and be impaled.
And I love the first time you see Beastmaster as a child. He's out in the middle of nowhere training with his dad, farmer dad. And his dad, farmer dad, is coming at him hot with that sword. Like, he's like 6, and he's like, oh, whack, 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 die!
And don't forget, he teaches him how to be a dick.
Yep.
That's
because
right.
he uses that boomerang thing and hits somebody's bandana off their head, and he's like, you old fool! And they're all laughing at him like, fuck you, buddy!
We shall all die.
Asshole training is complete.
Yeah.
But then but that's the first time we get to see him talk to an animal, though, well, no, I guess he talked to the dog before that. No, wait. Yeah, it's the bear. It's the bear that comes out of the woods. It looks like they've just kind of taken somebody's, like, majestic bear head that they had mounted on their wall and then, like, put a guy in a suit and then they're like, just hold the bear head in place.
Like,
awkwardly.
Yeah.
I think I saw the bear's mouth move at the end, though. Like,
You think it was still when the actual bear was... Because there was an actual bear in the shot. You think it was the same
footage.
bear from Grizzly Adams?
I wonder.
Bart the bear?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah. It's in the great outdoors, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the
Jumping
same
up
bear.
and down and John Candy.
That bear was getting his day rate, though.
Shave his
He
ass.
wasn't very excited. He was just kind of like, can I go back to the truck now? Because there's peanuts in there, and you're just a little fucker. I hate you.
Bear's a real paycheck actor.
Yeah.
He stood up.
Bart mailed it in Beastmaster.
He kind of stood up and then went, walked away.
Oh, but when the village gets raided and everybody's dead, well, when they're being killed, Beastmaster gets knocked down and then gets rescued by the dog.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Drags him miles.
Miles up a
dog
hill.
teeth ever.
Yeah.
After being shot with an arrow.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
still pulling him. He's
But
still
you know what the
pulling.
best was is though when the dog didn't even have the Beastmaster and the Beastmaster started moving.
He's still rolling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the dog like, oh yeah.
I love Beastmaster's farmer dad's death, though.
Oh, drawing the line in the sand with the sword
Oh, yeah.
against the... What were they? The Jun
Jung.
Horde?
Okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Jung
Huh.
Horde. Why are they even in this movie? They're supposed to be related to
I thought
Rip
they were
Torn
the
somehow.
Mayax's minions.
See, that's what I'm led to believe that they were, when making the film, they're like, well, we gotta make it like Conan, so we have to have these
Right.
guys, but in
Yeah.
Conan it made sense because they were actually the minions of
James Earl Jones.
James Earl
Right,
Jones' character.
Snake Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas these guys just seem to be like independent yet loosely affiliated with Rip Torn.
Yeah. They're mercs. They're
They're
Rip
just
Torn's
like
mercs.
those guys were roommates in college. And, you know, when anybody fucks with either one of their shit, they just retaliate.
Yeah, but he
just
had
got
the
word
Horde
that Max is in
Prime
trouble.
mask. He looked like Hordak
He did look like Hordak from He-Man.
from She-Ra.
Well, what-
Hordak was from She-Ra. But he
yeah.
had like the same bat thing around his head.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember thinking that when I was a kid.
All I can think of now when I see these movies and these guys come in with these huge helmets and shit, I'm just like, really? How long have you been riding with that?
How bad does your face
Yeah.
stink?
Yeah, it's gotta hurt. This thing's so
He's
heavy.
got sores now. He's not taking it off. He's not getting any ladies with those burn marks on his face.
Yeah, he takes off the mask and he's just got zits. He's got this horrible
Turned
rash.
him into the shitty person he is. High school was that's really bad for him.
Yeah, I loved the town burning to death scene. That was great.
Everything to do with that town. Like the first time you see Mark Singer in his hut, the thing is shaking, it's swaying back and forth. You know that somebody got hurt or maybe died. Falling off one of those things or it
There
falling
was some
over.
dangerous stunts in this
There
movie
was.
too. Like,
Oh, looks safe in this
No.
No, nothing was
No.
safe in this movie. They were throwing animals, dropping animals out of hot air balloons, putting people in houses that were made of stilts, and then blowing up the entire set with people inside of it at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tar thing, that looked like that just got out of control when they lit the town.
way too much TNT.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like there was just shit flying, and there's like, you know, they had the pan shot of Mark Singer, and
You could see fire
he was
falling
kind of like,
down.
oh, he was like trying to hide from the fireballs that were coming out of this thing. He was like, I don't think that was supposed to happen.
Yeah. I'm not wearing a shirt. This is gonna burn me.
Or
Smells
pants.
like those movies made in the Philippines.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Oh,
say that.
yeah.
I was like, you're watching those, you're like, oh, these are dangerous, and then Beastmaster's just like right there with them on every level.
Mark Singer's expendable. Fuck it.
Yeah, he had enough baby oil that he probably would have just lit right on fire if he would have been hit by something. It was like, oh my god.
We'll just get Hasselhoff for the sequel if Singer dies. No biggie.
Just save that for the last shot. I mean, still, no one's gonna miss Mark Singer.
Yeah. We can rewrite the ending a little bit. I mean, we can cut this movie off after we kill Mayax.
Yeah.
You know, and just in
It kept
case
going.
something
I was kinda
happens during the
surprised.
scene.
I didn't remember.
As long
that
as
those
somebody's
people
like-
would be coming.
Right.
If somebody, as long as the new actor is wearing a leather skirt and gesturing towards an animal, the viewer will infer that he is
Right.
the Beastmaster. It doesn't need to be Mark Singer's.
If you get a guy with his eyes too close together, that'd be perfect. If not, don't worry
Stick
about
an
it.
ape drape wig on him and
He did have amazing hair.
His hair was
amazing.
great.
It was.
Amazing.
Irreplaceable.
Yeah, but you could tell, like, he had to have, like, different hairstyles for different days, because, like, one shot he would have, like, mega feathered hair in the front that had just been hairsprayed into place like nobody's business. And then the next one, it would just be like hanging in his eyes like, shit, I don't know how to work a blow dryer, so...
You know what happened early in the day?
Yeah.
What was shot later?
Yeah. Terror just goes matted.
You could tell that there was some of those scenes were taking too long to shoot when they're outside too, because you could just see it, like from shot to shot, switch back and forth between 100 and 400 film. Like it was all grainy all of a sudden. Like you've been shooting this shit all day.
No kidding.
Yeah.
It looked like a hard movie.
The other thing with the hair being messed up all the time was I was reading that they shot this in the winter. So even though it's in the desert and that, it's supposed to be real cold and nobody's wearing any clothes. So they're all just like freezing to death the entire time.
Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, Tanya Roberts.
Want to keep it chilly? They have, those boob shots. They want to have the headlights on.
Speaking of the boob shot, the very first boob shot we get with Tanya Roberts is her and her pal, credited as
Booby Pal,
as Kira's friend at the end.
Kira's friend.
Just gets
in
in
quotes. Is it in quotes? Friend.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bathing companion.
And she didn't even really get in the water, which is also leading me to believe that it was winter.
It was
She's like,
really cold.
I don't want in there. I'm just going to stand on this rock without my shirt on. That's what I'm contractually obligated to do. I'm just going to show my boobs and stand here.
Get paid my
Fuck it,
$5.
I'm gonna be famous.
Yeah.
Was this Tanya Roberts' first movie?
No.
What did she do before?
Well, she was in TV shows before, and then also, as I told you, she started out as a Clairol girl.
Oh, right.
In the 70s, she was a Clairol girl.
So, did she go on to become a booby movie lady?
After this, she got her own title role in Sheena, which is basically more of the same.
Mm-hmm.
And
Isn't that Sheena Warrior Princess?
I think it was just called Sheena, and then the show's Sheena Warrior Princess later, 15, 20 years later, was based on it, but it was just called Sheena. And then she did A View to a Kill. She was a Bond girl after this as well. She was in A View to a Kill.
I like A View to a Kill.
Yeah, I like A View to a Kill as well.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying when, in our .5 episode that you guys weren't here, I'm reading all this stuff that Tanya Roberts has been involved with, and it's been, it's quite a fairly accomplished career for how many people just sort of got meat grindered in the 70s, and that we only remember her as Midge from that 70s show. Even though she did all this like a Bond girl and Beastmaster and her own Sword and Sandal movie, you should remember more, especially for the Bond girl part of it, but no, we just remember her from that 70s show.
She still got big boobs.
Yep.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, we'll just keep
she was on
the
there.
cursor, the
Person not watching TV.
cursor, pointing cursor right
I
over
didn't
them.
watch that show.
I've only seen a few episodes of it, and I still know that she was sort of a, like, oh, hey! Even later in life, she was super hot.
Yeah.
Well, I love the fact that after she gets her cans out, that the very first thing Beastmaster does is use his panther as
Painted tiger.
a wingman for sexual assault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he does.
Yeah,
He's-
Exactly right.
You
He
can
assaults
repay
her.
me with this, and then he just kind of grabs her and starts going to town.
And then throws her on the ground and climbs on top of her and little dry humping.
Yep.
Which was probably his first time, so he may have...
So we can give him a pass on the ring.
well, I was going to say he
Well,
may
it
have
seems
finished.
like she's
Dry humping may have been enough for Beastmaster.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I don't get is he was Mr. Nobody in the village, right? But then as soon as his village is all burned down and shit, like, did he go rummaging through everybody's, like, leftovers? Or that guy's dead. He's not going to need this leather outfit anymore.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Because all of a
did.
sudden he went from having, like, a piece of cloth shitty thing to full-on, leather everything and
The leather
a pirate sword.
arm falconer thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is like the first thing he grabs off of a dead body.
And he has
Which you wonder why the dead body's wearing that. Like, oh, how convenient.
Okay.
You might need this later.
These dead people have everything I need.
Yeah. Oh, and
and
he
he
gets a
has
badass
a sweet,
sword.
And
Yeah.
he has a sweet tiara. Like, you were not the king of this fucking village. Where did you get that thing? Like, he obviously had stolen that off of an old lady.
Yeah. He had his eye on it for a while.
Yeah. No, I think with the speed that he is able to loot
She's
those
not
bodies,
gonna be-
there was a plan. There was a plan for this.
Yeah.
Like
He's like, listen, dog, if anything ever happens, get me the fuck out of here. I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna get that tiara.
I don't want the village to be completely destroyed. It happens around here. If it does, I know what I'm going after.
I've got a checklist.
I got it.
There's a lot of things that don't really make sense in the movie, or they leave a lot of things out.
A lot.
Or you have to like really make some inferences, like the log training sequence.
Swinging the log around.
Yeah, you're assuming. I am to assume that took place over the course of a great deal of time. Because his hair gets longer, and he moves from swinging a log around to a sword. So
there's no trees around there either, so he had to go someplace and get that log, and then drag the log all the way to the top of a desert mountain so he could swing it.
For a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. I would say.
Swinging it, and we saw him take a sword, right?
He had the sword,
He's had the sword the whole time.
Well, he knew that he wasn't ready for the sword until he swung the log around enough.
Myself with this.
Even though he's been sword fighting with his dad since he was like 6.
Right.
When he pulls out the sword, he acts like he's never seen a sword before.
Yeah.
In his life.
What is this? This stick is shiny and sharp.
Like a swinging around fast.
I love the air blade sounds in this movie. Every time
Yeah.
I love that.
You know what I loved, speaking of sounds, is that at the beginning of the movie, he can just talk to these animals through, telepathy, right? He can just mind to mind with these animals. And then he starts cawing at the bird. But when it comes to the ferrets, he talks to them like they're people.
Right.
And he talks to the cat like it's a person, because maybe he just couldn't make those sounds.
Maybe birds just don't speak English. They just never...
They're just foreigners.
Right.
Just slant-eyed foreigners.
They only speak
Well, it
Canadian.
seemed like the bird was fairly uncooperative to begin with, so...
The bird was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Doing its own thing.
Bit of a dick.
We can't forget the river run.
Oh.
At
Yeah,
the end
when
of his
he's
training sequence,
That's
when he
right.
barrels through the river...
Holding a sword like a ninja
swinging
blade.
his sword like...
Yeah, because that's not fucking dangerous. You slip on a rock, you're impaling
No
yourself.
shit. That
I
is
think he was
kinda
barefooted, too.
Yeah, that was just... It didn't make any sense. And he was moving fast.
He was moving
Well, he left his clothes were on the riverbank.
Yeah, so he was
just
going for
out
a run.
Yeah,
running around.
He looked like a 6-year-old with a foam sword that was like not getting to play with the other kids, and then it built up enough frustration. He's like, "Fuck you guys, I'm coming in hot."
So eventually he gets trained up.
By himself.
His retraining, his practice for vengeance. And he kind of just walks into, he just walks off. Like, he has no direction, no sense of where he's going, but he's getting there. Mm-hmm. He just goes in a direction and starts walking, and eventually ends up with the Bat People. On top of a mountain in the middle of the
he
night.
sees some lights and goes towards it.
Yeah, the lighted nutsack tree.
Right.
Yeah.
On top of a mountain, goes up there and finds a guy in a cage and a boiling bucket of human soup.
Mm.
Why was the guy in the cage to be savored for later by the Bat People?
Unclear.
Unclear. It is unclear because as you learn more about the Bat People, which is not very much, it seems like they can just go get a person and eat him whenever they fucking want. So that's the guy in the cage.
They just wrap their big bat wings around them.
Yeah.
And then
a bunch of goo comes out.
Yeah, you hear the sucking sounds, and it's always like, what? Every time they open their wings,
Yeah.
what? Whatever.
Surprise, just bones.
Yeah.
Bones fall.
Every time they have a meal, they stand in a circle. Ha ha! Bones! But you didn't see that coming. I'm a fucking bat person as well, dick.
I loved the Bat People, though, when I was a kid. I used to do that to people with blankets. Put a blanket on and just run up to somebody.
This is really amazing how much of your childhood is revealed through Beastmaster.
Yeah.
I also had Wonder Woman underoos, I will have you know, and I swung from the curtains one time and ripped them down, and I got in big trouble.
Man.
All Errol Flynn.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna...
Put a knife in it and slid down. Now, Bat People culture is rather elusive.
How is their economy based? Are they democratic or is it a monarchy? How's that work?
Everything's yes or no because they don't have mouths.
No?
So, yeah.
The slow nod.
Yeah.
That's how
They do
communicate.
nod. They do nod.
But they do have, a talisman that they pass out.
Oh,
How
yeah.
the fuck did they
One
get the
free
talisman?
get out of free card.
That's
They
right.
had their little idol, their little black eagle idol looked like
Which
it was
kinda
fairly
looked a
well
little Hitlerish.
constructed.
It did bear a Third Reich-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anytime there's a black eagle with straight line wings, it's gonna draw that connotation.
Maybe you should do something else.
Maybe.
So Beastmaster calls in a favor from the Nazi bats.
Yeah, they are the actual superior race. Is the bad people?
And did anybody else catch that, the ferrets, their names were Toto and Poto.
The
and then it
animals'
was
names were just
Koto and
ridiculous.
Poto.
Poto.
And sometimes, I don't think he knew what the animals' names were, so he was just like,
It's
It's kinda like, come here, whatever the hell your name is.
Yeah.
Rata, Necto.
Right, and then it was so dramatic, because, after he's got all of his animals, then he's like, you are my eyes to the eagle, and he's like, you are my cunning to the ferrets, you are my strength to the panther. And then, later he's calling the ferrets, you little thieves.
Well, you have to be cunning to be.
Well, he
a thief.
called them thieves to begin with, I thought, because they stole his.
They stole his pants.
They
That's how
stole
he found
his
them,
shit.
Yeah.
And which is one of the hardest scenes to watch in the whole movie because of the whole animal rights thing.
Well, they're drowning a
The
ferret.
drowning
Yeah.
a ferret. That's not cool, man. You can't do this.
Quicksand, which was the one thing I remembered from this movie.
And I just remembered the
So
part
that
where the guy's nuts got bit by the ferret.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
also dick-biting bastards.
Yeah.
So is Beastmaster just pretty much worthless without his animals?
I would say.
Yeah, I was
I mean,
saying
he
it's
does
pretty...
He
fight.
does a little bit of sword play.
He can.
Yeah.
There was a lot of kicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did some high
That's some-
kicks.
Flying kicks.
I mean, he
Flying
did
kicks.
get Kordak at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat him up
in
solely.
single combat, he wasn't terrible.
No, I think Beastmaster kicked ass.
Yeah, maybe.
Everybody else did not, though. Nobody else kicked ass, because
The dad from Coming
Seth.
to America, John Amos,
Yeah.
you give him a big stick and he'd knock over 8 people with it.
he would knock
Yeah.
people over, but he never killed anybody.
No, well, it's hard to kill people with a stick.
Tanya Roberts did nothing.
No, she killed a
Blind
guy
guy.
by throwing her hairpiece into his eye.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
And then she stabbed a guy. Well, she stabbed the main bad, Mayax or whatever, but then that wasn't enough. Or no, wait, she doesn't.
No, that's a
She stabbed
Beastmaster.
some guy, so she kills 2 people.
Yeah.
Well, King Blind Guy
He's a dickhead.
just doesn't have any faith in Beastmaster's kick-ass
Yeah,
ability.
after he gets rescued by Beast.
By Beastmaster. Who is this man?
Yeah.
Calls him a freak.
and then
Yeah, they
a
just saved
coward.
your ass.
Makes him cry.
Yeah, it makes him cry. After he
runs
grabs,
off.
he comes up and he touches his chest. This man is a coward. You're like, I think you're jealous of the pecs, bud.
Yeah.
That's your son, by the way.
Yeah, Mayax tells him at the end that that's his unborn child.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
My son.
And then he changes his tune. Then he
Do you,
does.
or so
Yeah.
when you're,
Oh!
is
Yeah.
he an unborn man though at that point? Because if you're put into a cow and then
right,
cut out
yeah.
of the cow, were you ever born?
No, you were C-section. You were...
Does he have some sort of cow
You were
DNA?
I think he's a cow.
Does he have
Maybe that's where he got his animal powers
That
from.
had to be where he got
Oh.
the
He
animal
transferred into the
powers,
cow,
yeah.
and then the
Yeah,
cow was
yeah.
like, "This is so gonna happen."
Yeah.
byproduct of cow transfusion.
Because the cow had a lot of hormones,
Huh?
steroid injection.
Yeah.
Because that cow was going to
Was-
market.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
It
him
was a
try to
cow
control
factory
a
farm.
herd of cows or something.
Yeah. Actually,
Cows, move!
yeah.
He's a great cowboy.
Why didn't they do that when Beastmaster Coming to America?
Yeah.
He was in City Slickers.
Beastmaster. That's where I was going. Beastmaster 6, Curly's Gold. So, child sacrifice.
Yeah, a lot of that.
That's horrifying.
A lot of that.
Yes.
A couple kids get tossed into the fire.
The kids were getting tossed around like the ferrets were.
They look
Like-
genuinely scared.
Yeah, they didn't look
Yeah.
too happy. They were
No.
thrashing about pretty realistically.
Well, if you're 6 years old and you're being held up in the air by Rip Torn, are you happy? Mm-mm. That man is scary.
And he had a bird beak for a nose.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and the eyebrows and the teeth, and that probably scared the shit out of that kid.
I'm sure.
Or being held up in the air and then thrown onto a sack next to some fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Not fun.
I love the second kid is just clinging on for dear life.
Ramrodding him into the fire.
Into the fire.
With a
But
stick.
He still gets saved. Even though he's in the fire for
the most
some
ridiculous
time.
looking way.
The bird swoops down and picks him up. And at first it looks like a dummy, but then it looks like a...
So the first one is a dummy. It's like it
It's
looks
just
like a
flopping
sack
around.
with some limbs hanging out of it. And then the second time, it's been some really poorly done animation where they've just hand drawn something onto the bottom of
stick
an
figure
eagle
onto it.
flying by itself.
Which I say looks no worse than most CGI. It just looks
No,
different.
it just looks differently crappy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
In a different way. Does anybody know what the plot of the movie was?
Ripper Torn wanted to stop the Chosen One from something.
Because he wanted to be a child sacrificer, and they were like, no,
That's
you
not
can't.
cool.
The king told him in the beginning,
Yeah.
no, you can't. And so they gouged out the king's eyes and threw his ass in jail.
So it's just Conan without a dying girlfriend, adds some animals that can be talked to.
Well, it seems like the plot of the movie, or the majority of the movie, is just him rescuing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for any, just to
Well,
to rescue
there was
them.
given a mission. Someone told him, like, you must protect Airmore, I think is what. Airmore?
The town
Something.
he was
The town
from?
he was from. Maybe it's the region or something, but yeah, that's what I wrote down. Was that Airmore seems beyond protecting as everyone was dead and impaled, and
There was nothing left.
so he was supposed to
Yeah.
wander the land rescuing people, I guess. And by the end of the movie, he's just going to wander.
His sole
walk the earth.
motivation is just to rescue Tanya Roberts' sweet boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they turn out to be cousins. We find out that they're cousins.
Right.
And that's
it
a little creepy.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying I wouldn't date one of my cousins.
Well,
Have you guys seen
I've met
Time
your
Rider?
cousins.
Oh, yeah. Time Rider.
He ends up being like his own great-great-grandpa. At the end, you're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck does like great-great-grandma?
Ew.
Yeah.
It's weird. They never
Yeah.
pointed out.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
It is a good one.
So, they get some more people involved. Seth and Tal.
Yeah, everybody's
Seth is-
got... Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody's got weird names except for Seth.
Seth.
Yeah.
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 But where did they come from? They just show up.
Well, Seth was in the beginning of the
Yeah.
movie as the king's main aide, like the guard or whatever.
Right. But he just... Hi.
Not exactly
I'm here to help
The
you,
kid-
Beastmaster.
Yeah, I think he's probably been roaming.
I don't
the
know
land
where the
since
kid comes from.
king-
And where he got the eyeball ring. The
Well, he
kid
gets the
had
eyeball ring from when the Beastmaster kills because he's getting spied on,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
and then they start going through his shit, because that needs to happen. And he's like, you can keep that.
Yeah, like
right.
Rip Torn and the witches
Yeah.
make this ring with an eyeball in it so that they can watch it.
They can spy on him the whole time.
Yeah.
Would have been awesome. Like, I was actually kind of impressed with the eyeball ring, anyways, because it didn't look cheesy. It was the one thing
That was a
didn't
really
look
nice,
cheesy.
yeah, I liked that.
It would have been cool if it could have moved, but I understand that it's 1982, so not everything could be done at that point.
It moved.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked
Like
good.
it moved a bit.
Yeah.
It looked good.
All right,
Yeah.
we're killing this
Yeah.
podcast. Let's go watch Beastmaster again.
I thought the glowing eyes on the berserkers that didn't make any sense looked pretty good, too.
Yeah, those guys were
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
The
The metal
Well,
fans.
as cool as they can
hallway.
be for just running around going, oh, I'm smashed off.
Yeah.
well, they look cool.
Not a lot of
I liked when they,
bondage gear.
when there was the one guy, when they were
Some
being,
place was going out of business with this
Yeah,
movie.
right.
yeah, when the three of them were like being used actually outside of the dungeon area, there was like a guy on a horse behind him that was seriously just like wrangling them. Like he had like a whip and he just like whip them one side to the other just to keep them berserking in the right direction.
Yeah.
They probably couldn't see anything.
And I wish
Berserker Wrangler.
yeah, exactly. If that is his name in the credits, I'll be like, "Yay, Berserker Wrangler!"
So there's 2 extra crew guys for this movie: Berserker Wrangler and Ferret Tosser.
Yeah.
Parrot tosser, yeah. And I think that the Berserkers probably needed wrangling because when they showed the mask, there wasn't any eye holes. There was glowing crap on the front, so they are just men running around waving their arms that can't see a goddamn thing.
That's exactly.
So
what
they really
look
do
like.
need a guy on a horse behind him going, nope, you're going to run into some shit, Steve. You need to go the other way.
Right. Left. Straight. Keep going straight.
Did you ever find out what this movie cost?
Oh yeah, it was 11 million or something like that.
$20.
$20, bring your own outfit.
Yeah.
But 11 million, that's not bad. That's not,
Or no, that's not
8 million.
8 million, yeah.
8 million
Wow.
When we talked about 11 million yesterday, it was the cocktail cost $11 million and made 171 million.
Right. 8 million's not bad.
Made 14.
It's definitely not a B movie. Like,
No.
I always considered it to be a B movie. But
No, it's not. This was a theatrical release.
Yeah, that's a big time deal.
Conan changed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it had a sweet Beastmaster song in it.
Yeah.
Did it?
It was all inspirational. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's just adventure music.
It's fun adventure music.
Yeah.
It's not really any different
good.
than the Seeker Madness theme song.
Oh, come on. Somebody made that on their home keyboard.
The Seeker Madness theme song?
No, they didn't even
No.
we don't even have a keyboard. What are you talking about? In
No, I
fact, I might go to my dad's house because he needs me to like mow his grass, and so I might steal one of his old keyboards. Get a little keyboard in here, even though I'm not real good on the keys. Fuck it.
Who was it that played? Oh, it's Mark Singer that plays old Western music.
He plays classical Western piano. Here we go.
Down in California.
This is from yesterday. The bio of Mark Singer included, he enjoys a casual California lifestyle, running, sailing, martial arts, boxing, skiing, motorcycle riding, as well as playing some Western classical piano every day.
Wow.
That's how it was written in the bio. Playing some Western classical piano every day.
What is Western classical?
I have no
I think
idea.
it's like our old harpsichord. Like
an old
with a bars.
saloon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day. Just some, but every day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
It runs down to the
And he
saloon,
teaches-
does a few kicks.
Yeah. He teaches music as well, so I don't even know.
There's
Maybe
a
that's
table
how his
with-
maid brings him.
With the guy with the wooden teeth playing poker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how the maid brings his breakfast, right? That way it'll be like, you know,
Slim
like.
Pickens. That's what
Yeah, and then, the maid comes to town, she, swings open his bedroom door with the tea tray, and that's when he stops playing. That's the signal for the
That's
maid
why.
to come up with breakfast, and he's like, fuck, hurry up, I only know one song.
It's the only way I can make myself practice. Gotta make myself practice.
Camptown races, I'm the best at it.
Did anybody ever figure out where the hell Seth fucked off to for half the
For
movie?
a while, he just
Yeah.
sort of he said something, and then he walked into the desert.
He said that wherever is a half a click away or something. Like, it's over
I'll
there.
meet you in the village.
Then they shook elbows and
Shook
he just
elbows.
left.
Yeah.
He just kinda
was
left.
gone for the entire storming the castle
Yeah.
business. Do you think he was working at McDowell's?
He did come into
When did he show
Big
up
Mick.
again?
Yeah.
Like,
The very end.
did he
He
show
showed
up?
up for the
For the last
Hordak.
battle.
for the last
Hordak.
battle.
I know he was there. I don't remember. How
Maybe he was
got
just there the whole time. He just went back to the
He's just hiding.
castle. I don't know. I don't
He's
know
doing
what he
his
did.
taxes.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, wait,
on-
he was
on-
there
on a good
before
time.
because when Beastmaster is carrying down Kira from the altar, he's like
Yeah.
telling the people, climb up! Like, why? It's steep!
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's the final invasion of the castle.
Right.
The earlier invasion of the
With the
castle.
rescue, the king rescue.
Yeah,
business.
King rescue. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was not there for any of that business.
No, he just disappeared.
Is he back at the camp after they rescued
It was he disappeared, but then,
Yeah, he was there.
No, he wasn't when they rescued the king.
no, but
No,
when he
but-
gets
Oh,
Afterwards,
yeah.
afterwards.
Maybe that's what he
when
was
the king
doing. He's
throws
like,
him under the bus.
I'll
Yeah.
go set up camp. You guys go rescue him.
I'm gonna go start the baked beans.
I'm gonna get the baked beans. I'm gonna find some people who are useless in battle to stand around and bitch and moan about any suggestion.
Where
and then
was
you
that
guys go
camp?
rescue the king.
And who were those people?
Yeah.
Because it's not in the castle, obviously. And so the only other people in the movie are the townies around the castle that just go there and watch child sacrifice.
Sacco.
Sacco. Yeah.
Yeah, Sacco.
Sacco.
Buddy Hackett looking guy.
I
Sacco.
was rescued by the bird.
I love the invasion of the castle to save the king.
Why does Tanya Roberts disappear down the thing and then she just shows fucking back up?
Just
Yeah,
gets
she
back
just-
out of the
It's like,
skull
let's
stairwell.
get out of here now.
She somehow
What?
knows. She knows the
'Cause
inside of
there's
that
no-
castle. Or she like
she was a priestess. So
Yeah,
she worked
so
there.
she-
I
the
didn't
trap
for
door.
that. I was just like, she knows where everything is. This is kind of dumb.
But
She
why
went
didn't she
in,
go
took
through
a
the
shower,
trap? Yeah,
got
She changed.
Yeah, put a thing in her hair.
That kills somebody later.
that's it. That's all that happens. She goes in the secret door, comes out wearing a different outfit.
Yeah.
Huh.
With a knife.
With a knife.
And it didn't take long.
No.
No one even noticed she was gone.
No.
She doesn't say anything. She's just like,
I know.
She opens a secret passageway.
Yeah.
I wish she said
I'm going to
mysterious
go
about
into
it.
the room that contains battle garb for slave priestesses.
more like just fluffy shoulder outfits.
Yeah.
It was
When I
kind
win the
But
lottery,
then
I'm
when
gonna
she
have
comes
one
back
like
to
that.
like help
Oh, yeah?
him escape the rest of the way.
Go back
Her
there.
shirt like that.
her shirt was kind of like the Seinfeld poofy shirt. It was just poofy, very
Yeah.
poofy.
Yeah.
Looked good though.
And then poofy shirt and then a skirt that doesn't cover anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
Justin thought that he saw Vag. We had to rewind it.
Yeah.
I was pretty sure, but
It
it was a little
Such
sideways.
flux.
Yeah.
A little sideways. But as we discussed, that kid, the Tal kid, he had a nice start to his career. Way to
Yeah.
work. I just get to see Tanya Roberts' boobs all day.
Well, except at the
And
same time, he has to be wandering around in
Food greased
like
up
one
like-
quarter of a sheet that's been
Yeah.
cut up and wrapped around just his vital parts, like just the stuff you
I'm
can't
pretty
show
sure
on
It
his
was
TV.
owner was
creepy.
keeping him warm.
No.
Do you think he had to, like, tape down? As a kid that age,
Yeah, that's the perfect
Oh,
age
yeah.
to.
you're
You don't wear
popping him all the
sweats.
time anyway.
Mhm.
Right.
But then you got Tanya Roberts right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
That's all over.
Yeah, and he's wearing nothing.
Nothing at all.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
And brushing up against her, not wearing anything really either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been an awkward trailer to be in.
Yeah.
Break time! Excuse me, you just broke 2 minutes ago,
Yeah.
kid.
Grabs the trapper keeper and he runs.
Yeah. Gotta go study.
That's like they call cut and somebody just hands him a trapper keeper.
The marker.
Yeah.
Your kid. Who's this?
Cut. You're.
Poor little guy. Did we ever find out what he was? We all thought that he looked familiar.
No, we
it was
thought the other kid.
guy.
No, that was
familiar.
young.
And
Oh, that was young.
Young Beastmaster.
Young
Young Beastmaster. Yeah.
Dar.
Dar.
It was the kid from just one of the guys.
That's right.
The brother.
That's
Yes, and then there was something else. Bad News Bears was one of
Few
them,
things.
and but it was the TV
So-
Bad News Bears, not the good
Oh,
Bad
you
News
said
Bears.
Lewis Can't Lose.
Yeah, that's later though. There was
He's really familiar. I know
Yeah.
he was in a lot of stuff
Yeah.
in the 80s.
Yeah, young Tall is known for Beastmaster. And ABC Weekend Specials, Bunnicula, the Vampire Rabbit.
Bunnicula.
Bunnicula. What? Sounds fun. News at 11. He was on the news at 11.
huh.
Huh.
Fighting
Wow,
the
that's
Frizzlies.
Bunnicula.
So eventually,
Well, it's still like Tanya Roberts comes back after she goes down the damn stairs,
that have been closed
Closed
off by
off.
the skull.
and the other door is locked,
Yeah.
and Beastmaster is in a panic. You are to
Berserkers
assume
coming.
Yeah.
there is no other way out of here or in, but she just shows up like from behind someone, like, "Hey,
Let's get out of here.
we can escape through here, but not the way I just came from." So
Right.
then they climb out the air vent.
Yeah.
Where did she come from?
Where did she come from? I think it's kind of like implied that she chose not to go down the stairwell.
I think
No,
that
you
she-
saw
I think
her
she-
go there.
You see her go down the stairwell, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she changed her mind and came back to
I
help
don't think
him.
so. I
No,
think that
Maybe she snuck out real quick before he slammed the skull down.
And then
I
she
don't
just-
know.
Battle
hit
roll,
behind a
all
pillar
of
like
these.
a weirdo. Like, I like him, but I just want to see how he handles this. I want to see how this plays out because I don't
Yeah.
know. I might not rescue him because he seems like he could go either way.
She's a slippery one through the whole movie.
No, she just fucking
She's
shows
like a
up.
ninja.
She's a stealth. Yeah, it's
always coming up behind Beastmaster and being like, "That's
Yeah, when
okay,
when
but
it goes off to
weird
cry.
creepy hand.
I'm
That's
here.
what
Yeah.
you see is like this, ha ha ha. Like, I'm touching you. And then they pan out and she's there. But the hand, it's always like, what's going on?
And then at the end, she creeps up on him too, like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
"Hey,
she
you
stalks
bailed
him
on
for a
me."
while.
Which, like, he bails. He defeats everybody, and then see you guys.
I didn't even say
as
see
I
ya.
said, he was told that he has to be the
Protector.
protector
I
of
gotta be-
Airmore.
Pain and kung fu.
Yeah, she's got to wander around and.
Walk the fuck
And what do you
around.
think he eats? Like,
Well, he doesn't
if he's
eat
eating
beasts, obviously.
Yeah, but like,
well, maybe not obviously.
If animals are his friends,
so is he only friends
is he a
with
vegetarian?
Like, yeah.
Does he just trick
out in the desert?
certain animals
Out
and
in
be
the
like,
desert,
I'm
yeah.
your friend, come
There
here, and then he's like,
wasn't a lot of vegetation
Stebbins!
in this movie.
Yeah.
He's like talking to the deer gets a little closer.
Yeah.
Eggs?
I don't know. That would piss off his bird friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what if they were unfertilized?
How's he gonna know that?
Still.
He's got like a little
Unfertilized
Beastmaster.
eggs. Hello,
Have
egg.
any vision from in here?
Hello?
No one's eating.
No one eats in the
No.
movie.
No,
No.
we're in the
Never
desert,
seen.
and there's nothing to eat.
Nothing
Well,
to eat.
he is shown with a hoe earlier. He doesn't want to farm.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're
He
farmers.
does a real. He
Yeah.
swings it about 4 times. Looks like he's not getting anything done, and then decides to follow his dog.
I should play with my dog.
That's,
Yeah.
that's just better than farming.
Yeah.
It's, ooh.
He's
Farming
doing anything
what?
to avoid
Which was
Yeah.
one of the better scenes where he throws the stick over the top of the painting, so you never see it hit the ground, and the dog goes to chase it and has to stop
Runs out of
because there's a painting back there, and it's like, you gotta do this a little
Poor
bit
dog.
different.
He
you
just
know?
wanted that stick so bad. Like,
Yeah.
where'd it go?
It's just sitting there on one side of a painting barking. And then, like, it's in the movie. Like, you left it in there.
It's great. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Or directing animals.
Yeah.
It's a fun. I love the animal business. Like, there's so many silly things with the tiger and not getting it to do exactly what you're wanting it to do as a director, and it doesn't, like, at the end where it looks the ferrets in the face and they're smelling each other, and it's like, how many of those ferrets did they go through?
Yeah.
They're like, oh god, now I've got a purse filled with half a ferret. Great, the ass end of a ferret. The other is in the belly of a tiger. Who dies?
Well, and the tiger, he just, he faded throughout the whole movie. Like,
Yeah.
Depending on what shot it was, and I guess depending if he had something to drink.
Yeah.
If you would get, like, if he got some
licking
water,
his
it would just,
face.
like, wash the dye off.
That's probably what happened, is he just drank all the dye, because...
Yeah.
They kept
it's
putting
just
it back
up in
on
his
its
face,
face.
yeah.
Well, I'm sure that
That's pretty sad.
it was the consuming the dye, being covered in the dye, all of it
Getting
was.
into his blood.
Yeah.
Do you know that the Goldfinger lady, she died from that?
Yeah.
You can't paint a person.
You can't paint animals or people, apparently.
Yeah, your skin, like, suffocates or something, and you die.
Yeah.
I don't know. I put a racing stripe on my mom's schnauzer once.
Well, no, you can't
With hair
cover
dye.
it. You can't cover
And then
With hair dye, not with paint.
I know, but this is my story.
They
But then I
painted
got
the
hit by a
Goldfinger
car,
lady.
so
Just regular
I wasn't
paint.
sure
Yeah.
if that,
Wow.
I was going somewhere with this story about how that dog was okay, but then and I remember that I got hit by a car like 6 months later and died.
Because it was racing.
The racing.
Yeah. My grandma was a little confused and ran the dog over with her Mustang.
She's like, oh, you want to go?
You look fast, dog. I love the well, back to the ferrets.
You can't get away from the ferrets in this movie.
Toto or Kodo,
I got Podo and Kodo.
or Podo or Frodo dies at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was, as I said before, I only remembered the nuts getting bitten, but then right when that happened, I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't watch this again because when I was 6 or 8, I cried because the ferret died and I hated the movie.
Well, I was
And
shocked.
I totally forgot about that until just that moment. I was like, oh, yeah, they killed that fucking ferret.
Because Rip Torn is like coming at Beastmaster with a knife, and I thought, as soon as the ferret starts running, I thought that the ferret was going to jump up and like take a bullet, like, midair, get knifed. And then it didn't happen. I'm like, oh, thank God he's okay. Nope.
Right into the fire.
Right into the fire. Which doesn't make any sense.
Creates a single mom out of the other ferret. She is
exactly.
now a single mom on
with
food
two
stamps.
Tragic.
And
You
they're
know-
supposed to like feel better because it had babies, but as I recall, I felt the same way at the end of Turner and Hooch. Like, oh yeah, you're not gonna puppy me out of this, you cocksucker.
Yeah, I love the fact that it bites Rip Torn into the fire. Like, couldn't Rip Torn have just been like, fuck
Ow,
off.
ow,
Fuck
ow,
off.
stop doing that.
Fuck off. Get out of here. But instead he's like, into the
Like he
into
just
his own
kind of
fire.
forgot.
That there was a fire there?
Yeah.
Yeah, like fall the other way if you're gonna fall.
I also liked that if you noticed, the entire front of the fake temple thing was burned. at the end of the movie, and they didn't do that in the movie at all.
No.
There was some stuff that got left on the cutting room floor
I think that there's probably another hour of that movie somewhere.
I bet they took forever to shoot this thing.
Yeah. Like the end scene where Tall is dying, and he's like, Beastmaster! Fade to black.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
How is he? He's okay. His hand doesn't work anymore. His hand?
You got shot in the chest with an arrow. Like, right in the heart.
No, it was on the other side. It was on this side.
Yeah, and there was a whole dragon boat that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, the dragon boat.
And it's cut to me. That was really cut strange because it shows the dragon boat like going down the river or lake or whatever the hell it is, and then all of a sudden you see it and it is totally a ferry. It's built as a ferry.
Yeah,
and so it seems to me like they shot it, and then they had a bunch of footage of after they steal the ferry, and then they just put some of that in the beginning because it doesn't make any sense otherwise. Because you can't just like magically get a dragon boat that also works great as a ferry.
Or can you?
Yeah.
And we found this big rope.
That's also that also has like some force field that prevents arrows getting shot into any actual.
It's got a
people.
magnet.
Right.
The dragon heads were magnetic. So anytime you shoot a metal arrow at it, it's like the fair. Which I'm sure the monks felt that way. It's like, what is this, the fucking fair? They keep shooting these guys with arrows and it keeps hitting the goddamn dragon.
And then she kicks the monks into the drink. They're prisoners. They've surrendered, and she tosses them into the lake, and they're weighted down. They got concrete galoshes. They sleep with the fishes now.
They were tied to that big thing.
Yeah.
So she kicks the thing and it drags them to the bottom of the lake.
Why?
And apparently her friends all died too, because you never see them again.
No.
Yeah, the other 4.
She should
the other 4 slave girls.
Taken the monks and then angled them in the direction of the arrows.
Yeah, but they kick the monks off, I guess, for purposes of speed, which doesn't make any sense really in water. And then right after that, they cut the rope to the ferry, which means that they would have just been like sitting there in the water 10 feet away from the guys they're trying to escape from. Because they didn't have any fucking oars.
That's how that works.
It seems like they could have held on to the other end of the rope and kept pulling themselves across, but they didn't.
They didn't.
And it's just John Amos with a something.
Stick.
With his
stick. Which wouldn't work because it's supposed to be deep water. Like, hey, you guys gonna leave yet?
And yet there's like a 40-foot wake that it's leaving. Like he's cruising with it.
Beastmaster's back there with one ski.
But there's lots of parts that are left out. Like, there's that part where he wanders off and then Sako shows up and tells him, everyone's been captured.
Except me!
Right.
Yeah. Except your old friend Sako!
The failed invasion. Yeah, there's got to be a lot more to that. Apparently it was based on a book as well. So
Loosely,
but...
Yeah, like if you can base it on a book and then turn it into Conan.
Yeah, pretty much. I like the...
I'm going to make a movie based on the book The Way We Were, but it's actually going to be plot more like Conan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your guys' favorite parts? Tucker?
Jeez. Start with me.
Oh!
Well,
I'm thinking the log training montage was... Actually, the running through the river was the most ridiculous thing
I think
I've
that was
seen
the
in a movie.
biggest laugh that we got.
That's the biggest laugh I've had in a movie in a while.
Yeah.
That was just out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Jackie?
I like when I like the bat people, damn it. I just love those bat people.
Bat people is a good one.
Yeah.
That's totally acceptable. I can't argue with that.
And I like that when, I like when they suck people dry and then they open up, whap, and then it's like bones or...
It is.
I like the
That's a
bad
great
people
reveal.
at the end because the first guy that gets sucked up is just bones, but at the end you get bones and helmets and shields and shit like that.
Helmets are undigestible to bad people.
They're like
Right.
Yeah, and the nod, the knowing nod.
Mm-hmm. Like, way to go, Beastmaster! You're cool with us.
Yeah,
yes, mask holes for their eyes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Rubber masks they're wearing.
Well, they couldn't afford to hire another guy, to be like, to the left, bad people!
The whole fight sequence with Beastmaster and the bat wing guy.
Yeah.
That was pretty ridiculous.
Which ends in the giant explosion.
Starts with
Starts with the giant
Yeah, I got the giant explosion
That's a
right.
good
Biggest biggest poop explosion ever.
Yeah.
I like the guy who tripped, too, on the temple. He was like fighting.
He fell down. Yeah,
I mean, that guy obviously just fell down.
Yeah,
he fell down in the middle. He probably
There was
got
some
hurt.
pretty dramatic falls that looked
Yeah, there was a couple.
The guy that goes off the cliff.
Yeah.
That was big.
That had to be.
That was like 60 feet.
60 feet or so. That's a good leap.
Yeah.
Big pillow at the bottom.
Yeah, well, I mean, that had to be dangerous because there was a lot of that wasn't set. That was just a cliff. Mm-hmm. It was graduated, so he had to probably clear 10, 15 feet out before he could even start going down.
Right.
And then, what are you landing on at that point? So, like, he was trying to hit a bullseye with his own body.
Yeah, it had to have been huge, I would think. But dangerous stunts.
Well, I'm a sucker for dummy work, so I'm going to go with the bird.
The bird? Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to stick with the sexual assault panther.
Sexual assault panther.
That's great.
I thought that was just a magical scene of bullshit.
I think the one that doesn't get mentioned is the very beginning when Max gets called out by the king, and then his servants pull out their weapons and then hang themselves.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And then it doesn't explain it, and then it just goes moves on. The movie just goes on.
I guess. Yeah.
Oh,
look at something else now.
They hung themselves. What?
For any reason at all?
So, are you going to clean that up? Or?
So, I'm assuming everybody's going to give it thumbs up and recommend it.
Oh, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a thrill ride. In fact, I think after Death Race 2000, this was my favorite one we've done so far.
Yeah.
I liked Teen Witch.
Teen Witch is pretty good.
It was pretty hot, that Teen Witch.
Because every cool guy needs a popular girl.
I think next week is my pick, and I think we're going to do Action Jackson. So that'll be fun with Carl Weathers and Sharon Stone, which the three of us have not seen it.
Craig T. Nelson.
Craig T. Nelson's in it.
Great.
That's right.
Is that Vanity?
Yeah, Vanity's in
Vanity.
it from Prince's
Vanity
whatever
Nudity,
troupe.
Yeah.
So once again, thank you guys, Jeff and Tucker.
Oh, thanks for having us.
The If We Made It podcast. You can find that on iTunes, or you can go to
ifwemadeit.blogspot.com.
Awesome. I highly recommend it. You guys are movie experts. You really tear them apart and analyze them very, very well. So check it out.
And plus, this has been fun.
Yeah, we love having you guys. We'll probably want to have you guys again someday.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Now they want a picture on the website. I've been on twice. I want a picture.
Shit, the wall of shame. So how we end every episode is we do our best, get to the chopper.
Oh.
We would love it to have you guys take us out with a couple good get to the choppers.
Get to the chopper!
That was good.
That's pretty good.
Get to the chopper!
Jeff does a great Predator.
Oh, Predator.
Noise.
Oh, that is good.
That's creepy.
I don't know if the mic picked it up. But
Don't feel safe.
very quiet.
Don't feel safe. So thanks again, guys, and we'll catch you next time. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.